Hello, welcome. Today we're going to do a difference between the Kranzle 2020 and the Sunjoe SPX 9007. I came across this, somebody on a detailing network there, or Facebook, started saying that Sunjoe had an incredible offer, about half the price, ridiculously a lot cheaper than the Kranzle machine. So I wanted to see if this was an option, especially for putting in the fire stations, because they cringe at spending the money for a Kranzle as opposed to maybe doing this Sunjoe. So we're going to put it through the test to see how it does on rinsing the vehicle and foam, and then I'll also go into maybe some general purposes and all that. But they're relatively close in comparison as far as what they're rated for on GPM and what they're rated for on PSI. The biggest difference, one other decent difference I saw, is this runs on 120 and this runs on 110. So easier, more applicable, especially for the home user, to have a 110 outlet as opposed to me where I had to actually install a 20 amp circuit with a 120 plug aspect for me doing my washing and that. So let's get into it and see what we got. This is a Sunjoe. Okay, so we're doing them up a little up close and personal with these. Okay, so that was the Sunjoe. Again, $400 unit. Now, let's move over to the Kranzle. A little more foam, a little more foam, a little more volume from the Kranzle. But you're paying for it. I'm not against it. I wanted to see a side-by-side comparison because there is a significant difference in price. Okay, so now I have both machines set up at the same time, identical setups, same guns, SU-32s, same extension wand, same 40-degree nozzle. All right, this is Sunjoe. This is the Kranzle. Putting out a little bit more volume out of the Kranzle. Streams are about the same. I get a little bit more back pressure from the Kranzle as opposed to the Sunjoe. Pretty much can hold like this. The Kranzle's definitely got some back pressure on it. Yeah, just definitely a lot more pressure, back pressure, a lot more flow from the Kranzle, but Sunjoe does a decent job. You are talking a significant price difference between the two. Sorry about that, it's freaking Florida and it's freaking hot out here today. All right, so we did a side-by-side comparison with the Kranzle and the Sunjoe. Obviously the Kranzle is putting out more GPM, more pressure. The Sunjoe does a job. I just feel like it's just missing something. I'm sure Sunjoe will come back and say, well, you got to use our wand and our stuff that's specifically designed for our unit. But us in our industry, that's not going to work. So tried to put it side by side, and I used their nozzle tip, which did make a big difference in the pressure flow, but still came up short. It just depends on what you're going to be looking for out of a product. I wash fire trucks. I need something with a lot of GPM and a lot of pressure. So the Kranzle works very well for me. I was looking at that Sunjoe because it's a more affordable option, especially when you talk about cities and spending a double the amount of money they're spending on a Kranzle unit versus a Sunjoe. So I was definitely excited to see that. However, now looking at them side by side, I don't think it fits the bill for what I need. Would it fit for what you need? Probably. Just depends. If you're doing cars, I can't see that you would need the amount of pressure that I do when I'm doing fire trucks. So it's something you're going to have to weigh the difference. I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison and show you guys what there was, because when I went to go ahead and buy this unit, there was no reviews. Nobody had any reviews on this unit. And so far at this point, it's nice, it's quiet, it's cheap, but it's not there on the pressure and GPM. It's not comparison to what's out there. So I think they need to do some more quick tweaks, and they have to keep in mind that most of us are going to modify the unit, meaning we're going to add hose. We need the extension hoses. We're going to use our own wands and stuff with it. So it's something they need to look at if they want to seriously get in this market.